Is the WNBA facing a competitive balance problem? The WNBA is on fire, with ambitious plans to expand from 13 to 18 teams by 2030, skyrocketing media deals, and a surge in merchandise sales and fan engagement. But here's the burning question no one seems to be asking. Is the league's rapid growth outpacing its ability to maintain competitive balance? WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert has hailed this expansion as a testament to the league's growth, talent depth, and the soaring demand for women's basketball. Yet, beneath the surface of this celebration, a critical issue looms: competitive balance, the idea that teams are evenly matched, leading to close, thrilling games, is the lifeblood of any successful sports league. It drives fan excitement, unpredictability, and long-term interest. For the WNBA, where every game shapes perceptions of its growth and legitimacy, this balance is not just important, it's essential. And this is the part most people miss. Since the All-Star Game on July 19th, only 3 out of 24 games have been decided by 5 points or fewer, less than 13%. Even more alarming is the average margin of victory, a staggering 16 points. In basketball terms, that's not just a win, it's a blowout, night after night. The post-All-Star stretch, typically a time for nail-biting games and tight playoff races, has instead been marked by lopsided contests and a noticeable lack of suspense. This raises serious concerns about whether the WNBA's on-court product is keeping pace with its off-court ambitions. Rapid expansion is a sign of optimism and ambition, but it also carries a risk: spreading talent too thin. While the WNBA boasts a strong core of elite players, increasing the number of teams demands a deeper pool of high-caliber talent. Without this, we risk more games lacking competitiveness, which could ultimately dampen viewership, ticket sales, and fan loyalty. For instance, imagine a league where only a handful of teams consistently dominate. How long would fans remain engaged? To stay on track, the WNBA needs more than just expansion announcements and branding wins. It must invest heavily in talent development, scouting, youth programs, international recruitment, and training initiatives to ensure new teams aren't just filling rosters, but fielding legitimate contenders. Expansion should go hand in hand with building a robust talent base that keeps the league exciting and competitive. But here's where it gets controversial. Is the WNBA prioritizing growth over sustainability? Are we sacrificing competitive balance for the sake of expansion? Marketing has undoubtedly been a game changer for the WNBA. But if the actual games don't live up to the hype, that momentum could stall. The league must keep a vigilant eye on competitiveness. Because competitive balance isn't just a game day issue, it's the foundation of lasting success. So here's the question for you. Is the WNBA's rapid expansion a bold move toward greatness, or a risky gamble that could undermine its future? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. 2024 WNBA FAQs. History, Stars, Controversies. The W's Rise Explained. The WNBA is currently in its 29th season, and it's more popular than ever, drawing record-breaking crowds, viewership, merchandise sales, and widespread admiration. While the league has always had a loyal core of fans, it's now attracting millions of new supporters who've never seen a women's basketball game before. If you're tuning in for the first time, here's everything you need to know about the WNBA. When was the WNBA founded? Most people agree the first game was played on June 21, 1997. But others argue the league didn't exist until May 14, 2024, when it mysteriously appeared out of nowhere, a fully formed, metaphysical phenomenon, right as Caitlin Clark made her professional debut. So, which date is correct? It depends on whether you trust facts or the worst comment threads you've ever read. Why is the ball orange and white? The orange stripes symbolize the sport of basketball itself, while the white stripes honor Meg White, a trailblazing figure in the league's history. Even if you think you could do her job better, she's still a legend. No need to feel superior. What's with the team names? From the New York Liberty to the Atlanta Dream, the WNBA's team names are often quirky and memorable. It's said that the person who chose the names was distracted during elementary school and only heard the last word when learning that nouns can be people, places, things, or ideas. How many players are LGBTQ+? That's a question worth asking. The WNBA is known for its diverse community, and many players identify as lesbian, queer, or non-binary. The answer is definitely yes, though it's a topic that's often overlooked in casual conversations. How has the WNBA been a trailblazer for women in sports? From Lisa Leslie to Tina Thompson, Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Swoops, Maya Moore, and Caitlin Clark, the WNBA has consistently championed alliteration and female athletes. These players have paved the way for future generations, proving that women can dominate the court as much as men. I'm a man who loves Caitlin Clark, but I hate women, basketball, and women's basketball. Can I be a fan of the WNBA? Bizarrely, yes, the WNBA's fan base is a mix of passionate supporters and critics, and even those who dislike the sport can find a place in the community. It's a weird but real thing. Speaking of, Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark? Nope, that's not a real question. The WNBA has a lot to say about its stars, but sometimes it's hard to keep up. I love the WNBA's 2025 No Space for Hate initiative. How can I show I'm an ally? The WNBA is committed to inclusivity, and being an ally means respecting everyone's identity. Whether you're a woman who loves other women or someone who admires quirky stickers, the message is clear. Love is love, and that's a universal truth. Why do announcers say players hit three-pointers from the logo? It's an informal term for ultra-long-range three-pointers, often taken from the center court logo. But in the WNBA, the term refers to any logo, anywhere, because the game is different from the NBA. So when they talk about Caitlin Clark's stats from the logo, they mean any logo, not just the center one. Why is Angel Reese getting so much attention? This is a hot topic. The WNBA has a complicated relationship with its stars, and some fans feel like the league is pushing a narrative that doesn't reflect reality. Why is Angel Reese getting so much media coverage when Caitlin Clark is the face of the league? That's a question worth asking. Do WNBA announcers have the same stats as NBA analysts? It's wild to think about. For example, is Paige Bueckers the first WNBA rookie to average a golden ratio, 1.618? When combining her scoring efficiency rating with her assist-to-turnover ratio, minus double-doubles. Yes, the WNBA has its own unique set of stats and stories. Do players in the WNBA play with or against their exes? Yes, it happens. Some of the league's top athletes have been teammates or opponents in the past, and their personal lives often intersect with their careers. It's a fascinating, sometimes messy part of the game. Do complicated relationships affect players' performance? Basketball is all about communication, and if you haven't met lesbians, you might not realize how important teamwork is. The WNBA is a place where players rely on each other both on and off the court. Is there a physical difference between NBA and WNBA players? There are certainly physical distinctions, but the WNBA has its own set of superstars. For example, DeWanna Bonner has been a dominant force in the league, while LeBron James is a standout in the NBA. The WNBA has its own unique challenges and achievements. I notice some WNBA players get a lot of attention. But I want attention too, and I'm taller. That's a funny way to put it. If you have a question, just ask, though I suspect the answer might be something you don't want to hear. But hey, we're all here to have a conversation, right? WNBA's rise and challenges. Can it continue to grow? Can the WNBA sustain its recent surge in popularity and continued growth? The answer might seem promising at first glance, but there are underlying challenges that could derail its progress. Over the past few years, women's basketball across all levels has experienced a remarkable uptick in interest. In 2024, the viewership of the Women's March Madness Championship skyrocketed by 89% compared to the previous year. This unprecedented surge not only made the Women's Championship game more watched than the Men's Championship game for the first time ever, but it also became the most viewed basketball game since Game 6 of the 2019 NBA Finals between the Golden State Warriors and the Toronto Raptors. Central to this phenomenon were players like Caitlin Clark, who was the first overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, and Angel Reese, selected 7th. Their compelling narratives and exceptional talents have contributed significantly to the league's growth. It's likely that without the popularity they generated, the WNBA would not have secured 6 expansion teams. Despite the promising future with expansions and the influx of young talent, the league faces several negative headlines. One major issue is the ongoing standoff between the league and players over renegotiating the current collective bargaining agreement, CBA. Last October, the players' union opted out of the existing CBA due to the league's rapid expansion and growth. The WNBA needs a resolved CBA to proceed with operations and expansion drafts for its 2 new teams set to debut in 2026. Meanwhile, players are advocating for fair compensation. Tensions escalated during the league's All-Star Weekend, with players showing solidarity by wearing black pregame t-shirts that read, "Pay us what you owe us." While increased national attention might eventually force both sides to reach an agreement, it's concerning that the league's main storyline revolves around fair wage disputes. Another contentious topic is the consistency of officiating. Players and coaches have been vocal about the need for more uniform foul calls. Despite numerous protests, the average number of fouls per game remains high at 18.7, the highest since 2017. While this statistic doesn't directly indicate fairness, it highlights the persistence of issues. What sets the WNBA apart from other major sports leagues is the sheer volume of attention it now receives. This heightened scrutiny extends to physical play and animosity directed towards star players. Caitlin Clark, for instance, has faced significant physicality from opponents and criticism for her role in the league's popularity. However, data shows that viewership drops sharply when she's not playing. Currently sidelined with an injury, her absence underscores her importance to the league. Continued inconsistencies in officiating and unresolved contract negotiations could jeopardize Clark's career and the WNBA's growth. Major sports leagues thrive when they effectively manage public scrutiny. If the WNBA fails to address these issues, its newfound popularity could evaporate, returning it to relative obscurity in the sports world.